y'all for coming out and coming in support on it. We haven't done one of these in a little bit since this COVID has started. I think Mayor Akins, Mayor Harris are coming down. We're just going to do a few updates. It's not going to be all about COVID either. A lot of the great things and good things going on here in Loudon County in our cities. And so we'll touch on COVID, of course, but just give an overall community update. And it's always good to get some good news through these times. And so we're not going to concentrate on the bad. We're going to highlight the good. Just a little bit of information. Our Board of Education recently was able to give a 2% raise to our teachers. And so certainly thank them, thank County Commission for being able to work through that. And of course, we're in the middle of football season now. And so we're looking forward to our winter and our spring sports. And it's going to be the same thing for Loudon County Schools. The temperature's going to be taken at the door. You're going to be required to wear a mask, but there won't be a limit on capacity with some of the limited seating we have for our spring sports. So that's just one more step in getting back to normal. Sheriff's Department update, our jail is open. You can see that virtual tour on redskinradio.com. It's on YouTube as well on Redskin Radio. And so anybody that's interested to see where your $17.5 million went, that's a great opportunity there. I would ask that we have a few cases of COVID that are active in our Sheriff's Department. Not many officers, but a few. Most are asymptomatic. We do have the spouse of one of our deputies and one of our command staff struggling with this COVID. I would ask for prayers for all of them for a speedy and quick recovery. And those are men and women that put themselves in danger every day to protect us. And so remember our law enforcement during this time. From a county standpoint, we continue to absolutely thrive in sales tax collections. That shows that people are indeed shopping local during these times, and that's crucial. I think the cities will be able to reflect the same thing. We're buying local, and that's just a great, incredible thing. You know, if you want to keep your taxes down low, buying local is the best way to do that, and we continue to thrive. The lowest we've been so far through the first quarter is 42% over 1 month, and so that's incredible for our budget and helps us to keep our services there and keep our taxes down. Remind everyone, Philadelphia Library from Saturday from 11 to 2 is going to have an open house. There'll be free burgers and hot dogs. So anybody wants to come down, you bring your library card, or if you sign up for the library card, you'll get a book or a DVD while supplies last. So one of our little hidden gems is our Philadelphia Library. Our libraries as a whole are certainly an asset for our county, and we want to be sure we support them. Early voting underway. If you've been out to vote already, then you have witnessed the lines. If you've not been, come on out, make sure you exercise that right. We're already at over 700 voters, just about halfway through this first day, and that's an incredible turnout for Loudon County. Our courthouse, there'll be some pictures. I'll put some pictures out on my social media later, but you will now notice that people are inside working at the courthouse, and so that's going to be hopefully get moving a little bit quicker. And just got the update total in 5 hours, we've actually voted 941 folks. That is amazing for first day of early voting, and they're still coming in both sites here at the county office building as well as Roan State Community College in Lenore City. So that's awesome. That's great. I remind everyone, Halloween is just a couple of weeks away. Be safe. I know Mayor House have an update on Loudon City's plans for the Halloween night. Just about a month from Thanksgiving, and so be safe as that. As we go through, get into our holidays, something else to keep in mind is that, we're going to, as seasons start to change, we're going to see a lot of pass-through traffic. People will be coming through our county and our cities to get to the Smoky Mountains or to the lakes and just come to see the great beauty we have here in Loudon County. Be safe with that. That is an important thing. We know our COVID numbers are here. We know what they are. As people come in, we don't know if they have. So be safe, protect yourself, and be smart about where you're at. Several job prospects are on the horizon. Nothing I can really be in very much detail about at this time, but we do have some prospects coming in. One is I've kind of got a little bit more hands-on, very excited about. They're not ready to announce, and I'm not going to breach that trust and get ahead of it. And always remember that 11th month, 11th day, 11 o'clock will be our Veterans Day service at the historic Loudon County Courthouse. American Legion Post 120 is in charge of it. And So we'll have our service just as normal, still be outside the fence, but we're still going to come out, we're going to honor our veterans. Looking at our recent weeks over this COVID, we've seen our numbers go up. We saw a little bit of a decrease yesterday in active cases. It's still very important that we don't dismiss this virus. There are people some people get right through it, no problem. We have a large amount of our populace, a significant amount of our populace that are very susceptible. Now that looking back from where we were back in February, March, when we first started these press conferences, we now know that it's not a death sentence for everybody, but there is a group that it is a death sentence for. Be respectful of who you're around. PPEs, keep hand sanitizer handy. Don't have to get up in somebody's business just to have a conversation, but be smart about who you're around and protect yourself first and foremost, and be aware of where you're at. And a lot of holidays coming up. That's going to be an opportunity for some even more community transfer for this virus. Be smart about what you do, who you're with, crowd you're in, and like I said, be your number one advocate. Protect you first, and that's going to go a long way to driving our active cases back down again. Like I said, we are typically the oldest, one of the oldest, if not the oldest, median-age counties in the state of Tennessee. And of course, we know the elderly population is a little bit more susceptible to this virus. Let's protect them, and that's the most important thing I can get out. Protect yourselves, be wary, be respectful, and be courteous. That'll carry a long way. If there's any questions pop up, I'll field them. But for now, I'm going to turn it over to Mayor Jeff Harris.
Thank you, Mayor Bradshaw, and thank you for hosting this afternoon. I'm going to give out some appreciation. I think as we've been dealing with this for 8 months, nobody thought we'd still be here in October dealing with this, but I want to give some special thanks to all our healthcare workers, first responders, fire and police officers. I think they've done a tremendous job over the last 8 months of this pandemic. They deal with it every day, front line. I think we just don't need to take them for granted and pass that on to them. Mayor Bradshaw, I really especially want to thank Loudon County Health Department, Director Teresa Harrell and her staff. Their continued efforts of testing and dealing with this, they come in every day to work knowing they've got to do COVID-19 stuff. So I know we're all tired of talking about it and dealing with it, but it's something they have to do every day. And I think the last post you put out, they've done about 15,000 tests. That's tremendous. That's tremendous. They should just be complimented for their work that they've done over the last 8 months. The lobbies at City Hall and LUB Customer Service Center, they are open. Customers are still encouraged to use the drive-through when possible. I know that may not always be possible. You need to come in, but certainly take the safety precautions you need to there. All city parks, playgrounds stay open. It's a good time to get outside, and with the weather the way it is, use the playgrounds, the parks. Restrooms are limited at each park, but there are restrooms available at each location. I also think we need to thank our Director of Schools, Mike Guerin, and his entire staff, along with all the Loudon County teachers. They deserve a huge compliment for the job they've done with our school startup. Nobody thought they would make it to fall break without a hindrance, but they did. Hats off to them. They've done a tremendous job. They've done a great job with the school startup. As Mayor Bradshaw mentioned, everyone needs to remember, just practice good hygiene habits. Hand sanitizer, social distancing, wear a mask when required. I couldn't think back, I guess back June or April, May, June, sometime in that time frame, I didn't know anybody that had COVID. I didn't have anybody, didn't even know anyone, acquaintance. Now we know family members that's been affected by it or passed away. So we need to keep them in our prayers and thoughts. And I'd also like for us to keep the city of Manchester, Tennessee, their mayor, Lonnie Norman, he passed away from COVID-19 this week. He was just elected for his third term back in August, and let's remember his family and the city of Manchester in our prayers. And as Mayor Bradshaw mentioned, Halloween is coming up, and so as Halloween's coming up, one thing we're going to do, the Loudon Rotary Club, since a lot of the churches are not doing trunk or treat this year because of COVID, we want to make sure the kids do get the candy and be able to experience Halloween. We're going to have a parade, Halloween parade, on Saturday the 31st, starting at Carter Street and just taking the normal parade route down through town, down Mulberry Street, and wind up at the Loudon Fire Hall. We're going to have costume judging contest, age appropriate. Kids are encouraged to ride their bicycles if they want to. We're going to have a pet section where people could walk their dogs and dress their dog up. We'll have a pet costume judging contest as well. So it's a good opportunity to get out, but just make sure you follow the safety guidelines that's been put down by CDC and everyone else. So with that, I'll turn it over to Mayor Akins.
Thank you, Mayor Harris, and let me just echo what Mayor Bradshaw, Mayor Harris said about the coronavirus. Certainly, we need to practice social distancing and those things. But just to give you a few updates, what's going on in Lenore City, I've had a couple of calls about the Christmas parade. The Christmas parade, of course, is still on. The lineup will be on December the 3rd at 5 o'clock at C Street and Broadway, the same place we've always done it. The Christmas tree lighting will be, we're not going to do that this year simply because of the construction going on at the new splash pad at the Central Park downtown. That's the only reason. We we didn't feel like it was safe enough to have those people down there as far as the construction that's going on. But the evening with Santa, it's hard to believe, guys, that we're talking about Christmas time, isn't it?
No doubt.
And Thanksgiving right around the corner. But the evening with Santa will be December the 10th at 6 at the Memorial Building. And so we're excited about that. Obviously, we're going to practice the social distancing as well and have plenty of hand sanitizer and things like that there for the kids. We did have some exciting news development going on Ash Avenue and 095, a new development. Mayor Bradshaw, you was there, and Mayor Harris, I believe you was too, wasn't you? So new development there on Ash Avenue, 104 houses going in, and I was by there Saturday and early Saturday morning, and man, they're really moving the dirt. So we're excited about that, as well as the Simpson Road project that Lenore City has tried to implement and get started for the last 3 or 4 years, dealing with TDOT and some red tape and having to obtain some right-of-ways, but it's started now, so we're happy to see that project. But let me say this, and of course you all have heard me say this before, and I know Mayor Harris and Mayor Bradshaw feels the same as I. We've been united the whole time in the coronavirus, trying to keep the general public informed, and we're still united. We still believe that we all believe that it is serious, obviously, and we're taking this, but we all, I think, believe that people need to do what's right and make up their own mind, and we don't believe that government should be telling folks what to do. Less government, I personally think, and I know you all do too, and of course the folks out in radio land can't see you shaking your head yes, but they're shaking their head yes, and we need less government in our lives. And so gentlemen, I appreciate Mayor Bradshaw, Mayor Harris, again, all of us are together, and appreciate y'all so much. Mayor Bradshaw.
Thank you, Mayor. You're exactly right. Just being united, we're stronger together, and I think that's one of the reasons that we continue to, even though our numbers are up, but we continue to fight our way through it. And I'd rather go down swinging than kneeling. And so we're just one more thing I want to touch on right quick. Talk about the early voting going on in the 941. Folks, voting is 100% safe. I can't say 100%. Let me back up. Voting is as safe a thing to do as that you will do if you go out to go grocery shopping. There are 6 feet increments throughout the building. There are face shields. You will be the folks that are looking at your ID and they're ready to giving you your ticket to go vote. They're behind shields. Masks are strongly encouraged. Now, they're not mandatory, but they're strongly encouraged. If you're asked, I would ask too, if they ask you to wear a mask to come vote, it's not going to be the end of the world. world for just the 5 or 10 minutes it takes once you're in. But voting is safe. Do not be afraid to come and vote because of the coronavirus. Susan Harrison, our director of our election commissioner, has absolutely, her and her staff have done a great job of setting this up. Get out, exercise your right to vote. Too many veterans have risked all and gave all to you have an excuse to not get out and vote. So take that opportunity to get out and vote. And I said it's as safe as going to the grocery store, probably safer than most gas stations you go into as far as your risk. So get out and exercise that right.
Mayor, I thought if I could interject.
Absolutely.
I rounded the corner this morning. I've never seen this before. I've seen them at the Memorial Building back when I was young, standing at the door. But I rounded the corner this morning, I thought, man, there's a protest here at Rome State Community College. And then I got to looking, and they was down the parking lot and back up the sidewalk. I've never seen that. It was amazing, and I'm glad to see it because you're exactly right. We need to get out and vote, and if you don't vote, don't complain. But it was amazing. It really was. Really makes you feel good that people in Loudon County, and I think all over the country, as far as that goes, from all the news reports, is getting out there, regardless of your party affiliation, and that's what we should be doing.
Absolutely. I think it was very similar here this morning. The line was at least around the front of the building. It's toned down a lot here, but still, you may end up having to wait at the front door, maybe 3 or 4 outside the front door, but the lines are going smooth and quickly, and it's never should voting be considered an inconvenience. It's a privilege.
That's it.
All right. Thank you all very much for coming out and helping us bring the message out, and just appreciate our local radio stations and all they do and being a part of this. And like I said, us three is pretty easy to find. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Thank you all very much.
Good deal.